Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
1, 2. Check me out right here, yo.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together. Better now than never, business before pleasure. P. Diddy and the fam, who you know do it better. Yeah, right, no matter what.
Welcome back to another installment of the Bob Sullivan Show here on LateNightSportsRadio.com. If you would like to call in, the number is 585-633-7487 here on a Thursday night. I will be joined here first hour by my producer Keith from 87 Sports Fans, and in the second hour I will be joined by Johnny Maloris from. It changes week to week what website he's with, so I won't even bother advertising the website. Keith, how you doing?
I prefer producer extraordinaire.
Producer extraordinaire. All right. Well, should we just start this over?
No, that's fine. Last Thursday, I did not earn that title whatsoever, but
hey, if there's anybody that can't criticize somebody else for being late or not being, punctuality, it's not me. I cannot point the finger, especially with our history where I was supposed to be on your show for an NFL draft preview and I overslept on a nap.
It was a 10:00 show, just like this one is, and you overslept, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, it was a massive oversleep. I know that. But tonight we got a lovely Thursday night game, Bengals and Browns.
What a crap show!
Yeah, pure unadulterated crap, as Frank Reynolds would say. Looking at this Thursday night game, Dalton's not playing well. Is it Dalton, or should we go, no, we don't need any more Thursday night football games. It's the Thursday night.
It's so hard to really just pin it all on that. It certainly doesn't help. You play a game on Sunday, and then you're hurrying up to get prepared. It's not the same level of physical preparation, mental preparation. I'm sure there's a dozen stats they could point to either side of this argument, but you can't tell me that it's the same as if this game had been played on Sunday. I mean, we're getting a 17-3 Browns lead right now as they just went to half. It's not inconceivable, based on the way that these teams have played this season, that this would actually happen on a Sunday. You know what I mean? But the Bengals are just god awful right now. Specifically, Andy Dalton, 5 of 16 for 38 yards. You just can't do that. It's a division game in your home in prime time. You can't do that.
Is it? There's still a heaping scoop of Dalton supporters as far as Bengals fans go. But is that just because it's such a loser organization that they're, Well, and the thing I have with Dalton is, who else is out there that you're going to go pick up,
It's the same thing with Bears fans in color, too. Who out there that you were going to guarantee would be better than who you got?
Right. Well, first of all, Manziel, they're not going to get Manziel. That's division. That's off limits. Right. You look around, I guess, you want to go get Drew Stanton? Is that an upgrade?
I hear Ryan Fitzpatrick's available.
In an upgrade? Look at the backups. I guess if you wanted to go trade for Ryan Nassib from the Giants.
Oh, God.
Again, is that an upgrade? And I don't see an upgrade out there that's available right now.
Ryan Nassib wasn't that good at Syracuse.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, he's a projected first-round pick. That tells you what
that was
Todd McShay was.
Well, I think, as far as all the talk about Nassib being on the Bills' radar and everything because it was Doug Marrone, I think that was one of the biggest smoke screens in sports history right there.
Okay, but then he went out and got EJ Manuel. So, I mean.
I didn't say the Bills knew what they were doing. I just said it was a smokescreen.
But, yeah, I mean, all these teams, the teams, talking heads all want to get rid of these quarterbacks so quickly. Like, right off, it's like, oh, they've had 3 bad games. This is, let's get rid of them. It's like, okay, what's the alternative? What's your alternative? The Panther fans, okay, I get, maybe Matt Moore or Derek Anderson, excuse me. Derek Anderson, maybe you want to play him, but again, the last time he was a starter in this league, he had a lower QB rating during that season than Jamarcus Russell. So if that's your backup plan, I don't think people think before they say, let's get rid of this quarterback.
No, it's always a knee-jerk reaction. It is, because especially football. And I've said this before, and everyone on my Monday night show drowns me out. But football is the ultimate team game. I mean, just simply because you got, aside from soccer, you got the most players on the field at one time. So there's a lot more opportunity for one idiot to not know what he's doing and screw the whole thing up, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, and I mean, look at all the injuries they've had. I mean, it's not just all Dalton. The defense has been decimated. It just Dalton. I guess the quarterback, since he's supposedly the face of the franchise, it's always the easiest one to blame. So, yeah, I mean, that's where it all lies there.
You're the face of the franchise, the most important position. Yes, I know there's many others, but if you don't have a quarterback, you're not going anywhere. Can Andy Dalton play quarterback in the NFL? Well, he has shown flashes where he has played pretty good. But you have to start asking questions about and buckle up, Bengals fans, because you are stuck with Dalton for the foreseeable future. So either you chalk this up to a bad game, screw it, let's move on, or you're ready to show up at team offices with pitchforks and torches the next day, because 5 of 16 for 38 yards and a pick isn't going to get it done on a night where the Bengals have run the ball 15 times for over 4 yards per carry. It's very clearly the passing game that's holding them back.
What's the furthest you would go to harass a player? Like, I remember last year when Matt Schaub was playing like ass, and all those fans went to his house and started, basically saying, "Oh, you suck, Schaub." They went to his house, and that's a little far. I don't even yell really at athletes. Occasionally if I sit next to a tunnel and they're walking off the court or something, I'll yell something, act like I'm a little kid and be like, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" or something like that. But yeah, I don't do anything that would, that would be construed as harassment or psychotic. What's the furthest you've gone as a fan?
The furthest I've gone, Steve and I are notorious because we have a minor league baseball team here in Rochester, the Red Wings. Been an institution since the late 1800s, farm team of the Twins now, but back in the days they were a farm team of the Baltimore Orioles, a AAA team. And we were famous for sitting on the third base side and getting as low as we can and just making noises the whole time just to drive people crazy. Just to the extent of just going like over and over again, top of our lungs, just to drive everybody crazy. There was a game where back when I was in college, we went into extra innings. I was actually working my summer job. I had to be up at work at 5 a.m, so I had to be up by like 4:30. And the game was going into extra innings, so it was like 12:30, and they're still playing, and there's nobody left in the stadium. But we refused to leave. And so we're making these noises at the top of our lungs. And when you watch the highlights on the news, you can actually hear us through the turned-down volume of the highlights going over and over again. It was fantastic. It was just fantastic. The funniest story that I remember about what influenced me is as far as how I act at a professional sporting game. We went to opening day when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade. I don't know. I was young and impressionable, and Floyd Rayford was in his last years with the. He was playing minor league ball, and he had just this giant gut at this point in his life. And these guys behind us were just yelling and just letting him have it. Like, loosen up the belt a few notches there, Floyd, and just over and over again. And it's always that kind of stuff that comes out of my mouth at a sporting event. But showing up to a player's house, that's just ridiculously over the line.
And I haven't gotten, I don't know, like the people who do get hammered off of $6 beers at the NFL, it's usually like $10 beers. But like at a minor league park, unless you go to Thirsty Thursdays or something like that, you're spending quite a bit of money on beer, and those people look like people that shouldn't be spending that kind of money on beer. They should be spending it on getting their children some kind of education, or maybe even themselves an education.
Probably
but
that second thing you said.
Yeah, but when I go to these, go to minor league games, occasionally, well, actually, whenever I go to a sporting event, I mean, you kind of know how I am, how I say something kind of quiet, some subtle stuff. That's what I do at sporting events is I'll say it loud enough for the people in my section to hear, but not loud enough for, to embarrass the player or something like that. I'm not one of those people that's going to go out there and be like, hey, Tim Raines Jr., get the hell out of this stadium. You suck. I'm not going to go that far or anything like that. But I will say something under my breath that, a few people around me can hear that can laugh. And that's about the extent I go as far as heckling, which is not even heckling.
I've been more on the umpires.
Oh, yeah. I love – well – you know who else I love is I only boo at the College World Series. They got rid of the net, but at the College World Series here in Omaha, they used to have one of those nets that covers up the rich people, behind home plate.
Right.
And so like the ball would roll down the net, and always like some hot chick would go and try to catch it, and if she dropped it when the ball was rolling back, you'd boo her. So I was always on that bandwagon, but that was all in good fun. But yeah, umpires all mockingly yell, "Come on, Blue, where's your head at?" or yell at the refs or something like that. I always like doing that kind of stuff.
Do you have like one go-to line where you you're going to get a laugh every time you say it?
Yes, I do.
Can you say it on the air?
Yes, I can. I got two. One is I'll yell out, pull your head out of your, but I'll say it really loud and obnoxiously, but in good fun, so that, I got, from time to time I'll have good delivery, so, I'll get laughs every time I do that one. Or I'll do, hey, ump, how am I supposed to explain that to my kids? Because it doesn't make any sense. How these people, whenever like gay marriage is brought up, they're like, oh, how am I supposed to explain that to my kids? And it's like, who cares? It's your stupid kid.
Excellent point all around. I can't argue with that logic. My line is Helen Keller could have made that call. That's
a good one.
That usually gets a chuckle or two. Then there's the old standbys. What game are you watching?
Yeah.
I do yell at one thing at a player from time to time, especially obviously only at baseball games. I've seen better swings on a playground.
Oh, yeah. I haven't gotten to yell it yet, but I'm sure the next time I have a few too many to drink at a baseball game, I will yell it. Hey, ump, let me buy you a tractor so you can pull your head out of your.
I see your comments always center around one concept: pulling one's head out of an orifice.
Well, speaking of, before we get to our next topic, if you would like to call in and talk to me and Keith about
anything at this
being
point.
a drunk degenerate at a baseball game, go ahead and call 585-633-7487. You are listening to the Bob Sullivan Show here on LateNightSportsRadio.com. Keith, did you see the whole Bill Simmons, Mike Golick beef that's going on?
This is fantastic. It's fantastic